Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, no.
Thanksgiving's not till November.
Interesting. What is going on here? Oh, there's no bank holiday today.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Who said there was a bank holiday today?
I checked Forex calendar this morning, and it said everyone had a bank holiday. Like, U.S. had a bank holiday, Canada had a bank holiday, Japan had a bank holiday.
Yeah, it did say this morning.
Right?
U.S. has a bank holiday for sure. It's Columbus Day.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, no, banks are closed today.
Oh. Interesting. How come it didn't? How come it?
I have and bank holiday CAD and US. I don't see them with more screen measure.
Good, good.
Weird.
Ooh, looks like everything dropped last night.
Hello, Raja.
Hello.
Raja?
Hey, hey, how are ya?
Good, man.
Ooh, what's this? Is Ted around? Question mark. I have no. Okay, today I am just chilling. Just doing analysis here today. No trading. Man, my new setup is pretty sick. Oh, someone's saying gold up, question mark. Man, people
How's your new
trade so bad.
How's your new setup, Raja?
Good?
Good. But you have two desks now, or
No, I got a L-shaped text.
oh, like in the corner?
Yeah,
Nice, very nice.
in the corner. Alright, as expected, GJ is coming down. Yeah, I'm going to do my weekly analysis here. My top-down analysis.
Raja, do you also look at the monthly candles
No,
or just the weekly?
I don't look at weekly. I just look at daily, 4 hour, and like I'll look at the weekly, but I'll keep weekly in my mind.
Okay, because Ted also did the video, and he did his analysis on the weekly and monthly, but that is not something that you look at.
I'll keep it in the back of my mind.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because like the thing about the weekly and the monthly are that they don't really move in a day, so it's just like a macro perspective on the charts. So when you have weekly and a monthly candles in mind, you just have the macro perspective, like where can it head off to now. The weekly tapped into a deep zone, and now it's just I'm never going to look at it again for the next 2-3 days. looking at the daily, there is this level here, 135,500. But it also seems like it's approaching this consolidation box here to the left. So GJ might have some issues here at this area, and we might want to see it form some sort of a support. Let's take a look here. Some more investigation. Ooh, awesome. So now I'm not going to look all the way to the left because I know what's to the left. There is some sort of a support, and GJ is looking to create some sort of a, you know, like a support here because it created a high. It's doing a retracement. So I would want to see some sort of support forming for a bullish move. Like this. So
Do you think that it is going to happen because the Brexit maybe, I believe on the 31st of October, it's possible that the UK is going out of the Europe?
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen, right? I'm just looking at this level as a level where potential support can be formed, and then I can take a buy trade. Maybe by tomorrow. But when Brexit comes, we'll see what the price action is. The thing is, I used to do the same thing too. I would see that there would be like a high volatility news arriving, and I would just base my current trade off of that. You know, the thing is when it comes, then we're gonna know, okay, it's here now, we gotta adjust and react to it. You know, but when it's like 2 weeks away, it doesn't really, I mean, if you're trying to swing trade, then you're going to keep it in mind. But if you're only going to be in a trade for like 20 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, then it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
That's like what my view is on that.
Yes.
What's this? Target, retest. Nah, this is, I think GJ right now, if you look at the candles, it's just garbage. Look at that. Garbage. I mean, if it's trying to make a support down here, then this is what, like, oh, it's a 40 pip range actually. It's big volume garbage. That's what it is. Hey.
I think the reason you can't see that it's a bank holiday is because Forex calendar is marked as no impact news. I think it's always like a gray folder. Maybe that's why.
Oh yeah, because on my phone I did. Perfect. Yeah, no trading, guys. Man, this setup is amazing. I just can't believe it. All I need are new lights now. Lights on my desk.
So what do you put on one screen and what do you put on the other screen?
My one screen has Slack on it. It has WhatsApp on it. It has MetaTrader. And what am I? Email and stuff. The other screen, the bigger screen, the curve I have, that has this chart on it.
Okay. That's the one you're streaming on.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Look at this gold. Yeah, I think Ted, when he did this analysis on gold, he did say gold might head up. Because it's strong daily level. The thing with gold is now ranging between 1485, 84 to like 1500, 1508. There's this resistance gold is reaching. Tough. See, when we investigate on the 1 hour, we see that you look left, you see some sort of issues the 1 hour candles had. You look further left, you see more issues. So now you ask yourself, okay, what are the chances that the 1 hour candles are going to have some issues here again? The chances are higher. You know, this means it might continue down now, do some retracement.
I mixed your whole playlist, man, from Mixer with all the classics.
Oh, the music?
Yeah, man. This fucking elevator music is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, YouTube gets mad.
I heard you could. They were talking about it at the pod stream, the temple stream, that they got permission from somebody to have this channel that gives them permission to stream their music.
Oh, yeah, there are some channels there on YouTube that do that.
Mm.
They have copyright-free music.
Right.
So, what I'm gonna do today? Probably got a new mouse and keyboard. Oh no, everything's closed today. 30-minute broke support, waiting for retest to go short. Perfect. 30-minute broke support with very weak candles. So if you think it's going to continue down, basically, I know what you're looking at. You're looking at this area right here. That 30-minute broke the support, kind of did a retest, so there's a high chance for it to continue down. If it continues down, you know, then you're probably looking at 135, 300-ish. I would say 300-ish because I was looking at this area here first, but I think 300-ish would be a safe one. Even 400. I always miss the moves that I planned the night before. What's your recommendation? Nothing. Keep on doing it. When I miss the move, I just accept the fact I missed the move. Yeah, and then I just wait. I have to hold through a 4K drawdown. Oh, nice. Yeah, Black Box, you're right. Sometimes, you know, they say the music is non-copyrightable, but it's not. Gold 30-minute clean candle for 25 pips, 57 pips. Wait for pullback and bullish confirmation close for continued gold push. 30-minute chart. Let's take a look here. Yeah, you're right. Oh man, you're absolutely right, Alex. So, you know, now it's starting to consolidate here. If you look on the 15-minute, we're consolidating, but it's starting to create this mini support. It needs to hold this support and close bullish for the next one to continue moving up from here up till, well, you get the idea, up till there. You're right. How does the market, how does he make that highlighted zone rectangles on TradingView? Oh, interesting. I think you need to YouTube how to use TradingView, and then you'll know how we use these rectangles to make rectangles. Pretty neat. See, GJ 30-minute candle closed bullish, didn't close bearish. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. 1 hour still ugly, still closing under that support. But I mean,
is at a daily support.
Yeah, that strong level there.
Yeah.
It's gonna get pretty hard to trade today because of the bank holidays. So we can't trade, question mark. No, I think the thing is you need to understand if you really do want to trade. I have understood the fact that I'm not going to trade today. So this is just for fun.
Look at
Aegis, basically.
Yeah, Aegis also range. There's support on EJ like in 10 pips.
I am aiming for that 10 pips.
Nice. From my experience,
You're saying, basically is that you're teaching us to be disciplined.
yeah, I'm basically telling everyone to just leave, but no one's gonna leave.
Because it's tempting to leave, right? Like on the stream or on the charts, and knowing that it's a holiday.
Yeah.
But it teaches you like to remain consistent and say, okay, I'm gonna see how it reacts today. I'm not gonna take a trade.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for someone to take a trade and they get stuck in consolidation so I can roast them. That's my plan for today. I'm just gonna chill here. Because
So it's gonna be a New York roasting session.
yeah, it's gonna be a New York roasting session today. Because man, I have traded when there have been like bank holidays, and I've just learned from it that most times it's not gonna work.
That's because it's gonna be ranging due to low volume.
Yeah, so I guess over time you develop this maturity as you trade.
Completely agree, sir. It's about the process.
Yeah. Can you talk about exotics and why traders say not to trade them? Exotic pairs, they usually have high spreads. That's based on two factors. One factor is that no one really trades them. So when no one really trades them, the spreads are high, which means that it's less attractive to people. So what happens is that when a spread is high and it's less attractive to people, that means that people who do trade, brokers would want to make more money on those trades because they're like, oh, well, no one trades them, but if someone does trade them, we want the most out of it. That's why, one, the spreads are high and they move very erratically, so I stay away from exotics. I used to trade USD ZAR back in the day, but then that was a very bad decision, so I stopped. Trading exotics is wild, man. Let's take a look at the exotic here. USD ruble. Let's look at USD ruble here. Roger, can you talk about order block? I don't know anything about order blocks. Oh, USD ruble is actually moving. It has some market structure. Oh, it's ranging too, because it's USD holiday. Remove USD ruble, NGD, AUD, CAD JPY, remove Euro USD, Euro AUD. Oh, Bitcoin is at 8,000 now. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Looks like USD ZAR has almost the same structure. Look at these pips on USD ZAR. Let's start from here down to here. That's like 50. That's 50. This is 40 standard pips on this 1 hour chart. 40 standard, mate. That's a lot of standard pips. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably play Crisis 3 in about an hour or so, and oh, it's moving. Yeah, G just now gonna break down. It broke the low of the previous one. Previous 30-minute candle, it broke the low, and now just like gold on Friday, it's gonna, well, I mean, theoretically it should continue dropping.
DJ as well is dropping down.
We should wait for this candle to close to see how it closes.
Oh, then you mostly missed the move. This is an advanced entry trade. If there was no bank holiday, if there was no, like, nothing, I would be in these cells right now in GJ. But the key is if there was no bank holiday.
All right, Raj, I got a question then.
Yeah.
So, do you have like a guideline or a rule or something that tells you that you can enter a trade without the confirmation candle?
Yeah, because okay, so right now the trend is down, right? We have a downtrend, and price created support, and then seems like it was doing a retest here. So if this was in my normal market hours, I would say, okay, well, at least I can have a stop at 135,900, which is going to be almost like, you know, 10, 12 pips, 13 pips. And then I'd say, okay, perfect. So it broke the low of the previous 30-minute candle. So if it's going up, you know, let's say if it's heading up, if this 30-minute candle heads up, there is less chance that it will break the low of the previous one and then go up. You know, because when you have an uptrend, candles are supposed to make higher highs and higher lows. But if it's heading down, the basics of a downtrend is that price is going to make a low, come up, and it's going to break the low, the previous low. It's going to come up, and then it's going to break the previous low again. You know, so if I'm entering sells, I'm having my stop above the high, you know, and then I'm anticipating, okay, if it broke the low, then it should continue going down, and the next one should, you know, make a wick up and continue down as well.
So then, when do you absolutely want to see a confirmation candle?
At like a support, you know, let's say if I'm trying to find a good example here. Let's say
So
if
at a reversal, like you want to see the confirmation candle, but with a break, you're not necessarily looking for that,
yeah, like
the retest candle that people.
yeah, like let's say if you look at gold here, right? If this 30-minute candle closes bullish, you know, then that would tell me that, okay, perfect. Gold moved up, created sort of consolidation. A 30-minute candle closed bullish. So that gives me confidence that, okay, now maybe the next one is going to continue moving up. So I'll take the trade.
Okay.
Yeah, so confirmation means, like, let's say if price is moving up, creates a support, and then if you have a candle closing in your direction, then I'm going to take a trade on that candle.
Okay. So basically, also like whenever price makes the box, then you want that candle in your direction to close outside the box, and that's what you're going to use as a confirmation. But on a break, if there's enough momentum, you might just use the wick as a retest and continue with momentum.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir.
No problem, no problem. Minute candles are best for confirmation. Yeah, as far as I have seen, 30-minute candles have worked awesome for myself. See now the GJ candle, it broke the low of the previous one and it broke the high of the previous 30-minute candle. So at this point, we don't know whether it's going to close below it or it's going to close above this 135.900 area. You know, this is where now you got to wait. So if I was in this trade, I would have closed my trade out and I would have said, okay, now I'm just going to wait for it to see how it closes. How long do you normally hold the trade for? 20 minutes? 30 minutes? Is shooting 3% profit rate a reasonable goal starting out? Yeah, I think that's a great goal. If you start out and you say, okay, I'm only gonna aim for like 3%. I think a better goal is if you say, I'm gonna aim for 10% a week, right? Because if you're aiming for 10% a week from like a let's say $1,000 account, that's aiming for $100 a week. And if you keep that aim over a month, you're making $400. You know, so if let's say your pay from your job is, let's say $2,600, you know, $2,600 is a good job. I mean, let's say if it's $2,400, you know, and if you're making $400 extra from trading a month, that's $2,800. You know, I know guys who get like $300-400 raise a month, and it changes your whole lifestyle. You know, so once you get in the rhythm of, you know, doing those small percentages week after week, it just grows to something big in 4 or 5 months. Trust me. There's a podcast I did where I talk about my entire journey.
Yeah, thank you, Raj. I'm gonna listen to that when I'm at the gym.
Yeah, I think it was yeah, we had a good talk. It's this one here, yeah. Really cool guy, this guy.
Right. That was on commission only sales. I mean, we weren't paid by the hour. We were only paid.
Welcome to the podcast of Trading with Josh. This podcast is sponsored by Trader Central, a proprietary fund funding retail traders with startup capital.
Ooh, startup capital. Can you do a simulation session? I don't know. I'll do a simulation session. Really? If I get 200 likes on this stream, then I'll do simulation session. Because I was thinking of playing Crisis, and I was thinking of streaming Crisis. See, trading is so easy. You're just waiting now. You got 15 minutes left for this 30-minute candle to close, and you can do whatever you want in the next 15 minutes. What platform do you trade on? MetaTrader. MetaTrader. I trade on MetaTrader. I was actually trying to get someone to make this thing here. I don't know why it's hard to program on MT5. I'm not sure what's the reason. But I'm trying someone to make this for me. This toolbox, basically. This toolbox for MT5. And in the corner, it would tell you, like, let's say if you open, if you open like a trade, it's gonna show you that how many number of the same trades you need to take to blow your account. You know, it should also say that. So if you're trading news, and in news, if you have a bigger lot open, it will show you that, okay, if you take 3 more trades like this, your account will be done so. You know, things like that. Or if you take, let's say, a small position, it's going to show you, well, if you take 50 of these positions, your account will be done so. but it should have these things here: pending order, market order, lots, pips, this and that. This doesn't matter here. All this back forward doesn't matter. But that'll be helpful. So if I get that done, that would be my, I'll pay for it to get developed, obviously. But then I'm gonna...
You can do that in Java. Well, if someone has experience and knows Java.
Oh yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I just want someone to make it. I'll pay
I
them.
know Java, but I'm not that good to do that one.
Yeah, I'll pay to have it done, and then that will be my gift to the Forex community for MT5. I could definitely do that. Maybe we'll talk about that. I just have a bunch of other... Oh yeah, no problem. I found someone messaged me saying that this will cost you like $2,000. I'm like, no thanks. No thanks. He's like, it's going to take 50, 60 hours. No one's going to do charity work. I'm like, listen, if you don't want to do charity work, it's okay. Someone else will. Because there are a lot of good people out there.
I'll try ask my classmates, some of my classmates, because we work in Java.
My budget for this is $500, so willing to pay someone $500 for this.
Wait.
Got 500 on the line. Would it be great if we can get it for MT4? Man, there are a lot of things for MT4. Trust me, there are so many things on MT4. Okay, so this is the link here. People want the link here.
Yeah, you need also database in order to do that in Java. You need a database to store all the pairs and all the currencies.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We've done something similar, but not as complicated as this one. This is more advanced than
yeah, I think I'm not gonna have it for all currencies, just the main ones, probably. I don't know. I just don't know how to go about it. It's just out there for someone who can make it.
Morning.
Hey, good morning.
What's up?
My ceiling. What's up?
Nothing. I see Ben Cole is chilling today.
Yeah, it is chilling. How do you know it's a fake out or not? Well, a fake out is designed to fake you out, so you never know if it's a fake out or not. That's like when you're playing soccer and you're like, oh, how do I know if the guy's gonna dodge me? You don't, because he's gonna dodge you.
Just happened.
You don't.
Just get fucked.
Yeah. Who is in FX fam or outside good with swing trading? I think everyone's good. I know a lot of people who are good swing traders. Swing trading, I think all swing trading starts with a perfect scalp entry. You have a scalp, you let a runner run, and that runner keeps on running. And you have a swing trade. You see gold is moving up now. 15-minute candle has closed bullish. We're breaking this resistance. So it increases our chance for gold to continue till 14.99. I think first easy target should be 14.97, 14.98. I'm going to act like Ted now today. See the 5-minute candle closing bullish here. Bullish candle hit the next 5-minute candle. Should also continue on bullish. We got 40 minutes left for New York Open. Well, there's going to be no New York Open, but we're going to imagine there's going to be New York Open.
You think the gold is gonna be moving because of how it's USD gold?
I don't know, but it seems like, technically speaking, looks like gold should at least go to 14.97. It's closing bullish, so I mean, you know, the if price comes at 1494.50, that's when gold is no longer going bullish, in my opinion, because that's support. Oh, see, on the 5 minutes, we moved up 2 pips.
I was in gold buys. I don't think 1 hour before I caught 5 pips and exit because I wasn't sure it would go up. I could catch more, but I'm happy. I didn't lose. I win, so why to ask more?
Yeah.
But maybe a buy stop could be a nice solution if it spikes up that fast.
It was very hard to trade gold this morning.
Yeah, I saw it. It was just one push.
I got 8 pips out of that. I got 8 pips out of this candle right here.
But I think it will push it up now.
I don't know. I'm not taking any trades anymore.
I mean too, but let's see if I'm right.
Let's wait and see.
It's Friday, I was waiting for gold buys and I missed the GJ move. I wasn't even looking at it. I was like gold, 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 and yeah.
Too quiet.
I just wanted to comment out if my headphones turned off or it's so quiet. But I think this is the move for gold now. Let's go.
Yeah, I would wait for this 30-minute candle to close.
Yeah, me too, but I think it will push now. I wouldn't enter now. This is the worst case scenario if you enter. Because it's just right on the resistance. And easily it can come back down.
Yeah, looking at the 5 minute, it looks like it will push.
Yeah, let's see when 5 minutes will
Yeah,
close.
once you close, if this...
Yeah, if this closed, it has much potential.
Wow, I just came back in my room and I saw my setup and blew my mind. Seriously, blew my mind.
What did you buy new? What is the new?
Just a table.
Just a table. And so different. How can the table make so much difference?
Wait, I'll tell you.
go. Gold is pushing.
Yep, told ya.
Yeah, gold should continue here. So what happened was we had two rooms. I was sharing one room with my son because the other room had some issues with it. So that room got completed. So and then I got my own office. Gold moved. Nice. Should continue moving here. Almost 10 pips moved here.
If you enter down there, it could be a...
Yeah, we're reaching 1497. Oh, 1497 reached. Damn.
I would put my buying stuff. This
Yeah,
Let's see if I would fuck up with her.
Nice. This I'm happy. I called this trade like 10 by looking at the 5-minute candles. Because he does the same thing. Like he looks for minor things to be broken on the 5-minute, and then he's like, "Yeah, the next 5 minutes gonna go up, pop, 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 pop."
5 minute makes a lot of sense on gold, but not on other pairs. You know?
Yeah, because there's so much volatility.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're very comfortable trader, you could even do mini scalps between these range zones. It's so easy. It just taps the zone and comes back down.
Yeah.
You can do even, I don't know, 3-2 for 4 pips scalps, and you're good for the day. And that's too easy to do. on
Yeah,
gold.
that's it.
But you need practice for that.
Any thoughts on pound after the Queen's speech? No, Queen doesn't give a fuck about the pound. Let's put it that way. Queen doesn't even know what the interest rates are. What is the Queen going to talk about? Nothing.
About magic.
Brexit? We have Boris taking care of the Brexit for us. IC markets versus Vantage. I think that's personal preference.
There are so many people moving to Ireland already because of that Brexit.
Yeah. I use two brokers, Traders Domain, and I moved to Black Bull Markets.
How is the spread on the Black Bull market?
It's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. The good thing is that you can, I mean, like some brokers now, you need to deposit and withdraw in crypto, but with Black Bull, you can do it with bank wire transfers too, especially for...
And can you deposit as well with Visa or...
Yeah, especially for people in Canada, you know, who don't have crypto.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
Is there a reason why you don't trade silver? Yeah, I haven't really seen silver.
Silver has almost the same, how I say it, correlated. If gold goes up, silver also goes up.
Yeah, yeah, they're correlated with the US dollar. So you're correct. Gold is XAU, silver is what, XAG? Yeah, I think it's XAG. Silver.
And then silver, you mean XAG?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't really know. I have to look that one up.
Oh, okay. XAG USD. Yeah, that's silver XAG. Look at that range. God damn, this reminds me of Euro USD.
And does it have the same spread?
No, because Euro USD is just, every time I've seen Euro USD is just ranges.
Yes.
And this reminds me of Euro USD. Wow, silver's got a nice resistance here. Do currency really move different? Can you show what? Do currencies really move differently? Yeah. Look, gold is moving up. EJ is trying to move down. The 30-minute candle has closed bearish. I think there could be some more bearish movement. GJ is ranging now. You know, so currencies move differently. If you look at USD CAD. Oh wow! Look at this. Look at USD CAD. Look what USD CAD is doing. See, this if this 4-hour close is bearish, there's a higher chance USD CAD is going to continue bearish. If it closes bullish, it can continue up. You know what's happening right now? This is like how I used to trade back in the day. I used to look at all the pairs, and I used to do analysis on all the pairs to catch the moves on all the pairs. But did it work? Nope, it did not work at all.
I was surprised this morning that there was no gap on gold. I opened up the charts for London and there was no gap.
Yeah.
When the market opened.
Yeah.
Midnight.
What do you think about brokers that use BTC as deposit method? What if Bitcoin goes to $1? Will they just disappear? Because that's actually a very good question. I don't know the answer to. Because they're holding Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes to $1, will they just disappear? Yeah, it's interesting. What do you think about CAD JPY? I don't think anything about CAD. I think CAD JPY is a good pair. It moves a lot with CAD and JPY. I mean, if you can share a chart, that would be perfect. But whatever, I'll take a look at CAD. It's a bank holiday today, right? We're answering questions. Oh wow, look at that. CAD JPY. It seems like it's in. I mean, this is okay. So this is the most recent zone it's tapping into. This one right here, 81.780, most recent one, right? So now what we do is we're like, okay, it's tapping from here. It's going bearish. So when price is moving bearish, it's bearish. It moves bearish from some sort of a resistance, right? So now we're gonna find that resistance. So we go to the 1 hour, we zoom in, and what we find is that maybe this was resistance here, right here. This was resistance on CAD JPY. So if that's resistance, you know what else I see? I see that it broke some sort of a support too. So if we take a look at this, let's take a look at this. Where's my arrow? So if we see if this was support, you know, right here and right here, and then this was sort of like your resistance area, and this candle broke it. Now it's coming back up to this area to kind of do like a retest to continue down. But if it's closing back in this range, because now, you know, like this is your range, right? If it closes back in this range, then maybe this move down was a fake out. This whole move down. So that's what I think about CAD JPY. I think that move down was a fake out. Since this is a 30-minute, we look at the 1 hour now, and if the 1 hour candle closes back above this support right here, then I guess you can expect the next 1 hour to continue moving up. How big is this range? 11 pips. Oh, plus also it's also CAD holiday, you know. It's CAD holiday and JPY is close, so I think this is the worst pair to trade right now. Bullish, I don't know what bullish flag is. See now some cowboy is in EJ sells with their stops above the previous 30-minute candle, which is 4 pips. I guess they're expecting this whole move down. Wow, man. If you get that move down, you're a super lucky guy today. Which pairs do you prefer to trade? I prefer to trade actually GJ and gold. GJ and gold. I think the main problem is that people haven't spent time on one specific pair at one specific time at a number of days. You know, I think that's very, very important. If you start to do that, because now if I'm only going to trade, let's say your JPY, then I'm only going to look at your JPY, which is the reason why you don't see me opening up a lot of pairs. And one reason why we say don't say look at this or look at that is because then if someone says, hey, let's look at CAD JPY, so then I'm going to open CAD JPY, I'm going to start to analyze. So when I'm going to start to analyze CAD JPY, when it's time for me to trade, let's say your JPY, I'm going to be potentially missing moves on your JPY, right? So that's why we don't look at someone else's pairs or analyze them when we're, you know, when there's no bank holiday and when there's a lot of volatility here in the market. So it's encouraged for everyone to post charts, because when you post your chart on, let's say CAD JPY, we can bring it on. We can say, okay, yeah, this is your analysis. Well, looks good. So that in turn can probably help somebody else who's looking at CAD JPY, and maybe they're too shy to post a chart, or maybe they're too shy to ask questions, you know. But you can never be too shy to ask questions. That's the most important thing. Man, I used to be the most shy guy in the world. And then Raja Banks was born. Oh, see that? 1497, tapped it. Now it reversed from 1497, right? So you're like, okay, well, why did it reverse from 1497? So you look left. You're like, oh, okay, this is where the last time price reversed as well too, from 1497. So then you're like, okay, maybe 1497 is an important price. So that was the mini trade for the day. That's gonna be nothing the whole day anyway.
Oh, it was a fake out.
Yeah. You laughed about my questions a week ago. Yeah, because, you know, some questions are not properly constructive questions. Like yesterday, someone asked me, how do you calculate pips on gold? So I said, okay, if you have $1 lot running in US dollars, a 10 pip move on gold is going to be $100. They're like, okay. And then they asked me some other stupid question. Like, okay, let me just see what the question was. The question was some really weird question.
But if you go through babypips.com, if you go through all those lessons, you would know everything.
Yeah, exactly. So the question was, do you ever collect 2 or 3 pips and then close your trade quickly? You know, and he's been asking me questions for the last 5 months. And I told him, man, that's a stupid question for the amount of time you've been asking me questions. You know, so at least every day your questions should get better and better.
Always the same.
Yeah. At what point did you get confident in your trading? Honestly, I got confident in my trading when I started focusing on 1 or 2 trades. That was the turning point. Seriously, just 1 or 2 trades. Because when you take 1 or 2 trades, your trading history looks better, you know, because there are less dumbass trades in there. And for a week, let's say let's say you trade 5 days, you know, you trade 5 days and you take 1 or 2 trades a day. You know, the first 5 days, oh, okay, let's say you take 1 trade a day for first 5 days. You trade 5 days, and in your win percentage, you have 4 losses. Okay, let's type this down. This is a super secret method to get profitable in 4 months. Okay, 4 months. Not 4 days, 4 months. First 5 days. Oh, actually, okay. So for first 5 days, you have 4 L's and 1 wins, you know. Then you have the second week, and the second 5 days, let's say you have 3 L's and 2 wins, right? The third week, you have, let's say, 3 wins and 1 L, and you didn't trade one day because market was ranging. You know, the other week you have 2 wins and 2 L's, right? So these are 4 weeks now. The fifth week you have 3 wins and 2 L's. You know, the 6th week you have 4 wins and then you didn't trade the next day because, you know, the market was ranging. So this is what's happening now, right? This is the first 5 days you're taking 1 trade a day, you know, and from all these 5 trades, right, you are learning from these 5 trades. You are then, after these trades are done, you're sitting, you're watching, you're like, why it happened. You took 4 L's, you start to see that, okay, what was something you missed out in that time, right, which you knew, then you would have had a winning trade. So then you go to the second week, you know, 5 trades. You take L's, you study your L's. You're like, okay, I took an L. How could I have taken the winning trade? Was there something that I was missing? Was it because I entered too early, or was it a bank holiday, or was price ranging, or candles didn't turn in my way? What was the problem? You know, so you're learning. So now you have 10 trades, you know, you're making notes and you're learning from those 10 trades. Then you come into the third week, you know, you have 3 wins. 2 wins are lucky wins, you know, and 1 week win is planned, and then you have 1 loss. You're like, okay, now it's been the third week. In the third week, you're also kind of learning, but at the same time, the third week is your profitable week, you know, because you took the first 2 weeks seriously. What most people do is they'll take the first week seriously, and then the second week they'll lose control. You know, it's like you're driving a car and you just lose control of the car. That's what happens. The second week you lose control, you crash your account, and you're like, hey man, you know, I don't know what happened, man. I just can't control myself, man. And I'm just gonna say, man, you were doing just so good. You just had to do the same things. I know, man, but it's just like the market was telling me to enter, man. I just had to enter more positions, man. I'm like, why? It doesn't make any sense, you know. So anyway, someone out there, you know, they go to the 4th week. You know, they go to the 4th week and they break even the 4th week, but at the same time, when they took their L's, they're looking to see how could they have made their losses better. You know, was there something that they missed out, or what was happening? When they come to their 5th week, they have a green week, you know. And when you come to your 6th week, you have 4 wins and you call it a week, right? All this, the only 2 things you changed here was you didn't overtrade. No overtrading, no over risking, you know, and your risk per week was 10%. 10% risk per week. You know, so you tell me honestly, you tell me, if you are spending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks with discipline, don't you think that the 7th week is going to be your profitable week as well? Don't you think that's going to happen? Tell me, honestly tell me. So I'll take the silence as a yes, because it's going to happen, the 7th week. But these are 7 weeks, you know, it's not like tomorrow or the day after. It's 7, it takes that long, you know, and people don't want to give it time, that long enough time. You know, man, guys can wait 2 weeks for paychecks, but they can't wait 2 weeks to be disciplined. It just doesn't make any sense, you know. It's crazy. So that was my secret formula to be profitable in 4 months. On 2nd week, I'm out of money already. Exactly. Good for you, because you're over risking.
Yeah.
If you're out of money in 2 weeks, you're over risking.
If you go 3% by 3%, there's no way you can blow your account.
Yeah. The most recent tax return I got from my, you know, working was 4 years ago, and that was for like $4,000, you know, and so I had to wait a year to get that $4,000 check. So then once I started to get disciplined, I made $4,000 in 1 month after it was like 7-8 months of being disciplined. And after that 1 month, I had multiple months where I made more than 4,000. Just because I spent those first 4 or 5 months of being truly disciplined and taking just 1 or 2 trades a day and just sticking to that. You know, it's all about like choosing one pair and then just looking at that one pair. Just focusing on that one pair. See, if you took EJ cells, you're still stuck in EJ cells and still in GJ cells, and it's just hard range.
Oh, yes.
But this is what you've been speaking, Rakeel. I started like you speaking like now. It was 3 losses first week and 2 wins, and I was pissed. But like, let's say, I will wait for the next week. It will be better. And then it was, I think, 3 or 4 wins and 1 losses. And the 3rd week it was already 4 wins and 1 loss. So it has sense. It's only 1 trade.
Yeah.
You can focus on one thing, not thinking how many trades you took, la this. 1 trade, you analyze it, and you see a mistake. Every day there is a chance to catch at least 10 pips easily.
Exactly, that's true. And the hardest part is, like, I totally understand, is that when you take a trade and you get stopped out in like a minute.
Yeah, that's hard.
That's the hardest part.
Yes, you gotta remain calm, and you get that through discipline, through consistency.
Yeah.
Before joining the Forex family, when I got stopped out, I went to revenge trading, and that's when I blew my account.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. It gets you revenge trading.
Yeah.
And FOMO.
Yes.
the 2 worst things. When the revenge trading comes, not only you trade more, sometimes I up my positions, and that's shit. So my management is gone.
It's because you get angry and you say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna get my money back because I know I was right, and then the market stops you out, and then you're fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like casino.
And then you wanna cry like a baby.
It almost feels unfair.
Yeah, like you need to win.
Yeah, like you enter a position, it gets stopped out in the minute, you're like, man, this is unfair.
Yeah.
You think that the market is doing that to you on purpose, but it's yourself.
Yesterday I was at casino and I was just looking at the guys. I entered something that just to play like 5 minutes, and the guy lost 1 round. He was like confident, no, it must be mine. Like 10 rounds, he loses everyone, and he's just going every fucking penny he has in his wallet. He's putting it into roulette and trying to win, and every single one is a loss.
Oh, chasing losses.
Yeah, chasing losses, the worst thing ever.
You should have told him, buddy, you're chasing losses. Do you have a plan? What's your plan?
You should have told him, call it a day, fam. Call it a day.
Yeah, hey man. Hey man, the casino will be here tomorrow.
Come 6:30 Eastern.
Yeah. See, this is a perfect structure for GJ to break down.
Yeah, and just like fall now.
Yeah. If there was no bank holiday, I would have been in these cells.
Perfect rejection of the resistance up there, and we should clear it down. But I hate when I introduce trading to someone, they on the end say like, this is like gambling. Yeah, but it is gambling, but with proper risk, proper discipline. If you have enough knowledge and to read charts, read fundamentals, you can precisely predict the price. So it's not, I would say it's gambling.
Yes, it's calculated risk.
Yeah, calculated risk, yeah.
Do holidays affect? Cool.
When you're looking at GJ, like if you look at the higher time frames, like the 4 hour and the daily.
Yeah, I mean, if you look on the 4 hour, GJ is entering a high traffic area here.
Yeah.
You see here around like 135, 700, 800, all the way to the left here as well. You know, and if you even look on the daily is also indicative of that fact. All that rangy area. So I mean, I'm expecting GJ to maybe like drop a little bit more, but then overall create a support at this 135, you know, 300-ish, 400-ish area.
Then you don't, because you're. No, okay, never mind. All right.
Yeah, because GJ on the daily, it created a high, right? It created a high right here.
Mm-hmm.
It broke this resistance, and now, like, you know, it broke above this area and filled this range there to the top, but it also made a high. So if it made a high, it might create like a support somewhere at this area and then kind of like retest that high. That's the trade I'm like looking at. Like made a high, came down, create some sort of support, and then go up to fill that high. So I'm looking
because you were talking about sales, and I was looking at the higher time frames. I'm like, I'm not looking to trade anything, but I'm just looking, analyzing. I'd expected. I'm looking what it's going to do at this support now. Like the, you know, the daily 4-hour support that it's at. Like, what is it going to do there?
I think it will bounce unless there is some major news about Brexit and something cancelling out or something like that. If that comes out, it will break down. But in other cases, I think the Raja's point is right.
Yeah, Helix, you're right. Like on the higher time frame, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Like a support and then move up. Because it looks like a.
Would you wait? Oh, sorry.
It looks like a break and retest on the higher. Yeah.
And so for me on my chart, with my zone, if I look at the 30-minute, like the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, it's kind of ranged just on top of the support zone.
Yeah.
I think my zone's a little higher than yours.
Yeah, this I have from the daily. So, you know, until it shows me some structure, then I'll.
So Raja, would you ideally look for a 4-hour support creating for valid buys?
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna look for buys above 135. You know, 900. Like if I'm looking at the smaller time frames here. Like if I'm gonna be looking for buys right now, I want to look for buys above 135, 900. Because this was support on the 1 hour, and then it's making some sort of a resistance, so I want to take a buy above this area to maybe fill this range till 136, 200, which is that's a good 30 pip range.
Jamar Vince asks why it's so easy to lose. I think there is 3 reasons: spread, commission, and maybe your point of entry.
Yeah.
If you enter on key zone or that's why. That's what I think.
When reading candlesticks on gold, what time frame do you use? Oh, all time frames. You use all the time frames. But if you're trying to trade today, and if you get confused, then you need to understand that it's a bank holiday today, and there's this text on the screen: bank holiday today, no trades. I mean, that's what profitable traders told me to do. That if there are bank holidays, just don't trade, call it a day. And I was like, okay, perfect, I'll do that. And the days I didn't do that, I had losses. You know, so no matter what you think that it's a bank holiday and price is doing this and that, and you're gonna make money, man, no, it's like most times it's not gonna work like that. So I did, yeah.
Whenever you think you are better than the trading planet and your everything you heard, you get losses, and when you stick to that, you get wins.
Yeah, that's true. I just do what people who make money do. You know, if they're not gonna trade on bank holidays, you better believe I'm not going to trade on bank holidays.
Is there gonna be an Asian tonight or?
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, because maybe.
It's
The
too
worst
early.
happened in Asia because of bank holidays.
Yeah, it's too early to talk about Asian session.
Yeah, it's still ours.
So many things can change in 10 hours.
Agree.
Why don't take trades on those specific pairs with bank holidays or so? Because there's no volume. The banks are closed, institutions are closed, money is not being moved. I mean, the only moves you're gonna get are just going to be impulse moves. That's it. If you want market structure to be respected, then you gotta wait for bank holidays to end. I mean, look at the stream. You know, by now we have normally 900 people on, 1,000 people, but we have 700 people because the rest are calling it a day.
I was looking on gold, so it is on key resistance, and the good idea could be, if you really wanted to trade the gold, maybe to sell it on the top of it and put a low stop loss like 5 pips. If it won't break it down, you could easily catch now 10, 20 pips. If you just want to trade.
To sell gold up here?
Yeah, because it's ranging and it doesn't have enough momentum because of bank holidays to break that.
But it already moved from up here.
Yeah, but you should bought it then.
Oh, yeah, in
Yeah,
hindsight,
when
it's
it
easy
was-
to say, you know.
Yeah, when it was on the highest. Because there is no momentum, it's bank holidays, and it's now dropping, so it would be a good idea. But yeah, it's not.
But it already
enough
happened.
Confirmation and yeah.
The trick is to call it before it happens. That's the
Yeah.
trick.
Yeah. I'm trying now on demo account new strategy, like just quick trades on this support and resistance, just buying on when I'm definitely sure it will bounce up. Just buy that. on
Oh,
solid
that's
down.
don't do that. Don't do that. You know, like,
You think?
yeah, don't do that. I've done that. It's just really stupid. I mean, I mean, it's not, I'll call it stupid because it never worked for me, at least, because when price would be falling, let's say price is falling, right? Price is falling, you'd be looking at support, you're like, okay, it reached support, it's gonna bounce, you're gonna buy, you buy. But there's so much momentum, instead of bouncing, it bounces like 2-3 pips, it drops, hits your stop. You're like, okay. And then you look for the next support. And then you take a buy, you're like, it's gonna bounce. Now you know, now you're trying to call tops and bottoms.
Yeah, but you could maybe do it then in lower when there is no
See, you
pressure, like
Yeah,
5 hours before Asian or something like that, when there is not enough momentum to break, but it has momentum to range.
yeah, but you said yes, and then you said but, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So when you say yeah, and then you say but, then d'abord, you know, you just
Yeah,
Decide
but
yourself,
I'm just playing. I'm just playing, testing
Yeah.
out. It's on a demo account. just
Okay,
to
okay,
see
okay.
If it could work.
Okay. Let me know then. Let me know how that goes.
Yeah. Okay. The example would be I would buy gold now and put, and yeah, but probably I will get stopped out. But I would put stop loss at 90.
Just gold 30-minute. Oh, nice trades.
Hey, Roger.
Hey,
No, I never asked you before. After what period of time did you start trading on real account? Did you do demo account for a long period of time?
no, maybe like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah, because on demo you don't learn about emotions.
Oh, so you did demo for 2 weeks and then you started the real account.
Yeah. On demo, you don't learn about emotions.
It's just enough for you to learn the
Yeah,
principles.
there's no emotions involved in demo account.
But anyway, if you start your real account after 2 weeks, you should start with a very low amount and just do 1 cent lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you can start with $1,000 and do like 0.1 cent lot. Ooh, look at GJ there dropping. See those candles, 30-minute, creating lower highs and lower lows. Can it really drop to 135, 400?
Oh yeah.
Shit, I wanted to sell so bad, but I was back to my plans.
Why do some people have 30% win rate and still profitable? I don't know anyone who has a 30% win rate and they're still profitable. I don't know any person like that. See, now there's no traffic here to the left on GJ. The other reason I think it's going to drop is because when you look at this issue here, the dailies coming down to this level here, to this retest level, there are a lot of people trying to take buys, you know, from a swing perspective. And you got to look back at your experience with swing trading and ask yourself is that whenever you've taken a swing trade like this, what percentage of the time you've gone in drawdown right away? If that percentage is higher, that means that you took a swing trade when all candles were bearish, just like right now. So maybe you have to wait a little bit. So that's why I think one thing I really learned was to, well, not learned, but like to identify, and Ted really helped me with that, was that when, like, wait for candles to turn in your direction, you know. And I mean, it just made sense to me. If a candle can turn in your direction, then it's perfect.
Do you think that drop on gold, Roger, if you look at the 4 hour, do you think that drop is just to make a wick for the new 4 hour and then continue moving bullish?
Yeah, could be. It's a bank holiday, so can't say much. That 1497 was like a zone there with tapped. Sergio, was it possible to close my trade higher? No, I think it was a good trade. I think, yeah, I think it was a good trade. I mean, if you were looking at the 5 minutes like we were earlier, you could have maybe, you know, but it's a bank holiday, so I wouldn't really recommend. So Gregory, how was your trip in Canada?
Very good. Very
Nice.
good. Yeah. We miss Canada a lot. Yeah.
I'm glad you had fun here.
So much. We talk about Canada mostly every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really, because we were looking forward so much to this trip, and we planned since last year. Because and it was great. Yeah, you have good food there, and yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I came to Canada. He's like, everything is so big.
Yeah, and everything was so big, and compared to Ireland prices, everything is so cheap. It's actually very cheap because we went to Costco and Walmart and all these big shops, you know. Everything is so like a better deal and better value than in Ireland. And yeah, hopefully we can move in Canada in 3 years, 2-3 years.
Yeah, if you go to America, you get even more deals. Yeah.
So everything is even bigger in America.
You stream Crisis? No. Someone's talking about demo accounts here. If you guys want to open demo accounts, I think QBanks is having a demo account challenge where you can go and open a demo account and trade a demo account.
Yeah, I saw that.
I just don't understand, why would you want to make a demo account and miss moves that you could take profitably on a real account?
Yeah, you know, since I took your advice and started my real account, I see a lot of, I see the difference, I see the improvements, and I see everything what you mean by trading on a real account. It just doesn't make sense to trade on a demo account and lose trades and opportunities when you can do that on a real account.
Yeah, like if you can stay consistent, no, well, not consistent. If you can stay disciplined with 1 or 2 trades, I think your live account will stay with you for a long time. Man, I know guys who are still at break even with their same live accounts, and it's been a year now. You know, so that's better than losing money because they're disciplined enough that they're still break even.
Definitely, yeah, I agree with that.
Is there a prize? Yeah, there's a prize, and the prize is a $3,000 live account. That's the prize, and you get to make money from that account is if you grow it to 7,000. You know, so number one, you have to create a demo account. You have to trade demo account, and if you win, you get a $3,000 live account, which is going to be probably low leverage, and then once you get to 7,000, then you get to take profits. So, you know, and I mean, it's been advertised as a life-changing opportunity for somebody. So I guess if I just saw that, I'm like, wow.
No, that's a nice challenge. You know, that's a good challenge for someone who is at the beginning. But
yeah, you know what I would do? What I would do is I would, instead of doing demo accounts, I would say everyone start with at least $100 live account, and whoever does the most, I'll give them a $3,000 live account.
Okay, well, you need
I
to
do it
give
that way.
Time as well. You need to give them a month or 2 months.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's how I would do it as, because then that would tell me that, okay, if this person can be disciplined and have emotional control on a live account, then he's going to have the same emotional control maybe most of the times on this bigger live account, right? But when you're trading demo and you're over leveraging it with no emotional control, that's not going to translate on a live account. Medical in Canada. Yes, medical in Canada is free. Yeah, it's actually free. We have free medical care. School too.
So did you start your real account after two weeks of learning, or was more than 2 weeks?
So I joined Ted's mentorship in June 2016, and that's when I started my live account.
Oh, but you did study before that as well.
Yeah, so from April I started looking into it, and I opened a demo account with $1,000. I did that for like 2 weeks, and then I was like, okay, I'm making money at this, perfect. So then I opened a $200 live account, and I burnt that in a week, and then I just waited for Ted's mentorship. Once that started, I deposited $700, and then it just was live after that.
Yeah, because you can start a real account like straight away after you just start studying Forex, and just start a real account after 1 week. You know, you just can't do that.
Yeah, I think I have a different view on that. I think you still can if you really want to learn about emotional control.
Yeah, you can, but it's a high risk of losing.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, if you're disciplined and if you're managing risk, I think you should go with live. Like, that's just my opinion. And
no, I mean you can do it, but it's a high risk. Like when I started studying, I went through all the baby pips lesson. I told you that, and then after that I started my demo account. Just after that was up after 2 months.
oh, nice.
So I said I need some knowledge of this market, how, you know, because then you came up with questions like,
Ooh, see, CAD JPY closed above that range here. So now, if you want CAD JPY to continue moving, this is just for education now, then basically you want this current 1 hour candle to continue moving up without breaking the low of the previous one, because that's how you identify a uptrend, when microstructure makes higher highs and higher lows. So then you want the candles to make higher highs and higher lows too. So we're
we
gonna,
want this current 1 hour candle to close bullish, right?
yeah. %1 a day is a lot over time. Yep, that's true. That's true. Because if you're risking 10%, you're basically giving your trades, like, you're giving your account 10 chances. You know, and 1% a day, like, it really grows. 1% a day, even 2% a day. It's just the fact that if you are really committed to being consistent, well, no, disciplined for 5-6 months. That's it, 5-6 months.
Yeah, I also believe in that. If I can stay disciplined for 6 months, then I would definitely can stay, like, can be in the market for longer than that.
What are your eyes on? My eyes are on nothing.
Yeah, from now on I won't trade bank holidays anymore.
See, it's nothing. It's a waste of time, bank holidays.
No, I took three trades this morning on gold, so I have 3 winners and 1 loss. But it was so hard, you know.
Yeah.
But that was the reason I said it's so hard to trade gold at the moment, and it's just no. Oh yeah, better stay out.
A lot of us are just sitting out watching because there's no good setups. Yep, there's no reason to force it. Can we do soft Forex now? I don't know. I really don't want to trade anything. I don't want to even look at the charts. Where have you lived in Pakistan? I lived in Rawalpindi. Bing. Why does Internet Explorer has Bing as the default search browser? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this is my city. Rawalpindi. That's my city.
Sorry if I was making some noise.
Yeah, this is my house.
This is your house?
Yeah, right there. These are my friends. I used to go to school with him. He was my teacher.
Yeah, seriously?
This is my city, man. Look, we have a lake there in our city.
I just came here. I don't know what they were talking about before. I don't know it's sarcasm or not.
No, this is like a big market.
Yeah.
It's like a huge market. You can find anything here. Fake Rolexes, like stereo speakers, computers. This is where you get tea. You see the pots outside, the teapots?
How long did you live there with you?
26 years. Yeah.
How about?
Do you go back now, Raja, sometimes?
Oh yeah, yeah. We go back once a year. I'm going back again in January.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, is there winter? There's no winter in Pakistan.
Yeah, yeah. It gets. It actually in the mountains it gets down to like -2,
Okay.
-10 even, -15 sometimes.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Why you decided to move?
Faizabad. I guess my father, he wanted us to have better education in Canada, so that was one of the reasons for moving. You know, and when I came to Canada, I saw there are so many opportunities here in Canada. So I think he made a good move.
Yeah.
He made a good. Yeah, he made a really good move. That was a good trade he made to move to Canada.
The swing trade.
Yeah, it was a swing trade. Now it's in deep profits.
Yeah. You can show everything in life like trading.
Yeah. Oh, what is this? What is this here? Overall ranging. Why is your target down over here, man? Are you gonna hold it till here? Who is this? Newbie trader. Pure mathematics. Come on. Oh, G just drop in. Can we get 135, 400?
I think if we break the week on 30 minutes. Oh wait. Oh yeah. On your chart, it's broken already. On my chart, it's still trying to fill the wick on 30 minutes. So if we go below 135 600, then we might reach.
Yeah.
400.
Yeah, I guess I think London closed. It could get there, but I'm not gonna be here to watch it.
Yeah. Just relax.
Canada. I see Canada, yeah, Canada. Oh, Google, oh, Pakistan to renovate. Oh, nice. This is how the Google satellite view is. Do you trade NZD USD? If you know, I don't. You should show charts. Any tutorial video on how you break it with Wix? Yeah, there are lots of videos here on my YouTube channel. Hey Ted, how's it going?
Good, how's it going?
Good.
Yo.
I see everybody woke up to trade this morning with 2 bank holidays.
Yeah, I woke up with a big whip to tell everyone to just fuck off, don't trade.
I know. That's why I slept in. I'm like, why the hell would I wake up to trade when there's gonna be no volume? I see people still posting charts. Do you trade NZD USD? If any thoughts on this current level? Yeah, bank holiday.
Easiest answer, bank holidays.
Yeah. Gold shorts working out just fine. Yeah, well, I mean, when you've only been trading for 3 months, then gold shorts will work out just fine. Try doing that over the long term. I don't trade in a vacuum. I don't trade because there's an opportunity. I trade when everything matches up. And there's a holiday today, that means they aren't. Everyone always talks about how, like, on Sunday night they get these trades and it worked out, and it's like, those are just one-offs. I want you to trade every bank holiday and see how well you do. One bank holiday doesn't make a difference. I think that's people's lack of understanding. It's just, you gotta sit back and wait.
Yeah, this is my first and last deck.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm happy that people are getting winning trades, but in the long term, you're just creating bad habits for yourself.
Yeah, you can, I'm on profit today, but now I won't trade back all this anymore. No, it's not worth it.
I don't know. To me, it's not. You can't be doing stupid things like that with capital. I don't know. Everyone's free to trade the way they want. It's just, I look at it from a long-term perspective. I mean, Rakeel's right. No trades today. Q&A. This is a time where people should be asking questions, and I see they are, so that's good. It's not a bank holiday in the U.S. Actually, it is. It's Columbus Day.
Look right here, bank holiday.
It's like, you live in the States, you don't know that it's a bank holiday? Why is my mic always low compared to Raja's? I don't know. It's like, okay. Some things we just can't answer.
Hey, Ted, there was a question, and the question was that, let's say if you have brokers who only strictly do crypto in, crypto out,
Yep.
and they're holding crypto, and let's say crypto goes to $1.
They got problems.
So in a way, they have some collateral on the side, or like, how does that work from a client perspective?
I know with our brokerage, our banks do crypto exchange. So I never hold the risk with crypto. I've always said that from day one. Whenever we intake crypto onto the brokerage, it's exchanged to fiat right away, and it's moved to to the liquidity. That's the reason why there's a fee on the transfer in and then the transfer out. For crypto, when you deposit with crypto on the brokerage, there's fees both on the inside, like going in and coming out, like depositing, withdrawing, because we have a fee to do exchange with our banks. So we're never holding crypto. So if crypto goes to zero, your money's fine with us. With other brokers that take crypto, I don't know. But they should be exchanging it. I mean, you should never be holding large amounts of crypto, especially if people are trading in fiat. I have no idea why anybody would be holding huge crypto. That's the thing. I think that's pretty scary, to be honest. If people are holding fiat, if people are just doing crypto deposits with a crypto broker, and there's no confirmation that they're able to see. That like there's an exchange happening. So
Yeah, especially when it's like, okay, there's no fees for withdrawal or deposit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ted, do you stream Asian? Nope. What's your opinion on Hugo's? I don't know about that. If it was a bank holiday, stock market would be closed. Well, the bank holiday means that the banks aren't working. It's Columbus Day. So the stock market isn't going to have the volume that it's going to have if it is open. And I'm pretty sure the stock market will close early today, if any.
I have a question. What is your tax on your income when you, I don't know, withdraw the balance from your account from the country? If you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, it depends on what my income status is. It depends on how I'm claiming the income, right? So I think that's way too much of a difficult question to answer.
I don't mean you specifically, but the general tax. What's the general tax on? Is there any fixed tax on withdrawing the forex from forex, or I don't know?
No, because it's all different for every country.
Yeah, but I'm asking for your country if you know.
Well, it depends if you're it depends if you're using trading as a full-time income or trading as investment income.
Oh, you need to specify that too.
Right. So like if trading's your full-time income, then you're taxed at a regular income rate. If you're not trading income, if your trading income is not greater than your other income, then it's traded as investment income, which is a different tax rate.
Thank you.
Ted, would you trade London session the same way as New York? Yeah, probably. I did that before. Can you afford the pro package on TradingView even though you're a trader? What does the pro package? Why would anyone want to give money to somebody when they don't have to? I'm so confused over that question.
Yeah, I've been doing this for like a year, and I've never ever even thought about getting that.
Yeah, like that's the dumbest thing in the world. That's like when you go to McDonald's drink day and drinks are $1 and then you get a small. It's like, why would you do that? You can have a large for the same price. You might as well just take a large. Like it's the exact same price. If something's free and it gives you all the functionality, why the hell would you pay for it? That makes absolutely no fucking sense at all. Hey guys, my car takes regular gas, but I'm going to fill it up with premium and pay more.
Why?
Oh, because I have the money to do so. Okay, be stupid.
Be stupid.
It's just. Why not trade the 5-minute chart? Because it doesn't make sense to trade the 5-minute chart. I have trouble trading discipline on a growing a smaller account, not over risking. Any advice on this? Yeah, the advice is quite easily. You obviously need money, and you're chasing money. So you have to take a step back and look at your life right now as a full perspective and ask yourself why you're chasing money. Once you figure out why you're chasing money, you have to set up a plan to not chase money. And what I mean by that is if you recognize that you need money for debt or you need money for bills or you need money because you don't have any, trading isn't going to get you that money. So what you have to do is take a step back, get a job that gives you money that does not rely on performance. And what I mean by that is trading relies on performance. And if you do not perform well, you don't get paid. You need a job that will pay you just to do what you're supposed to be doing every single day with no sort of variables attached to that. Once you start collecting money, you'll realize that trading will become a lot easier because you won't be relying so heavily on the money. And when you look at that and you say to yourself, you know, why do people not have discipline when they're trading? It's because all they're trying to do is chase money, and they're not chasing the process. And I've said this before, the easiest way to correct your discipline is ask yourself this one question. Every day that you trade, if someone was to hand you $1 million today, would you still wake up and trade tomorrow morning? And if the answer is no, then you need to quit trading. If the answer is yes, you need to evaluate why you are rushing the process. That's the biggest thing that I can tell anybody when it comes to discipline. It has nothing to do with being positive. It has nothing to do with risk management. It has nothing to do with that. It's psychological because you believe that you need to make this money from trading and you need to do it right now. So you are taking unnecessary risks, you are pushing your account, and that is where you're losing consistency and you're losing your discipline. It's very, very straightforward. It's the same thing if someone turns around and has a heart attack, they don't turn around and start eating McDonald's hamburgers the next day because they've realized, holy shit, if I keep eating stupidly and I keep doing stupid things, I'm gonna die. Unless they want to die, then they continue doing that. It's the same thing with trading. When you start to realize that your discipline has nothing to do with your trading, but your exterior environment in terms of, you know, the money that you have, the life that you live. When you start realizing that that is the main problem and it has nothing to do with trading, your discipline will change. My volume is full and I can't understand what you're saying. I have no idea what to say about that. Everyone else can hear fine. I've never had any problems with my volume.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's compared to low compared to Raj as well. I don't know what to say about that. I can't do anything about my mic volume compared to Raj's mic volume. Do you think Top Step FX would be a good option? I think so. Ted, do you implement market structure? Sure, why not? I don't know what any of these questions mean.
Oh, look at this. It will be a quiet day in the markets with many traders opting to take a long weekend, especially after all the drama this week. So this is why Columbus Day is not a good day to trade. And this was back in 2013. Damn, 2013.
Is the 30-minute a fake out on gold? I don't know.
Oh. Once gold breaks from this weekly range, oh man, this daily range too now. Stuck.
Yeah, 1497 to 1474 looks like a pretty good range with gold. I just have a feeling that we have a pull up today because of the weekly wick. For 13 years in an institution. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not 20 years old like all these other kids talking about Forex. I actually worked in them. I worked in institutions. I did compliance for traders. I did compliance for asset management. I did compliance for mergers and acquisitions. I did asset management actually at one point.
So how did you find him then?
Find who?
Your mentor.
The institution?
No, your mentor. You said your mentor, or I understood it wrongly.
Well, for 13 years I worked.
Well, you worked there, but I thought you said your mentor worked.
on my mic is at the highest level it can be. Man, there's nothing wrong with my computer. I've got a $3,000 machine here that runs at optimal level 100% of the time. This is my bread and butter for my life. I need it to run perfect. There's nothing wrong with my mic.
Your mic is perfect, actually. It was really bad like a week ago.
Yeah, because I didn't have my mic. I was going off my laptop. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's perfect.
When I'm on my trading station, my mic is fine. I do refresher webinars. I talk to people. It's fine. Like, people are telling me how to use my microphone. I've been doing this for 5 years on the same friggin' microphone. This is not new to me. I haven't woke up yesterday and said, oh, I need to buy a mic for my computer. I've done like about 60 or 70 webinars with this microphone. Maybe check your headphones and check your computer to see that you have a proper sound card.
I think, Felipe, you should right-click your sound settings and go and increase your volume over there. It should work. Ted's mic is fine. He's on Zoom, which goes to Roger's speakers. No, actually, no. Ted's sound goes digitally from Zoom to XSplit, and from XSplit it goes digitally to YouTube. And then you hear it. Fake out versus retest. Yes, retest you can anticipate, fake out you can't anticipate. Fake out is when you're playing a sport and someone dodges you, and then you want to learn how to, predict that dodge. You won't be able to predict that dodge because a dodge is designed to dodge you. How old were you when you first? I was what? I'm 32 now. I was 29, 28. Yeah, about 29, 28. And there was no rush to trade at that point too, and when people say they're in a rush to trade at like 21, 22 years old, man, trust me, you have a lot of stuff coming. At 21, 22, you haven't even lived quarter of your life, if you're going to live, let's say 60 years, 50.
I say this to myself, Roger. I have
lots of time. Trust me, man. Things are going to change so much in the next 5 years. It's going to be mind-blowing. What is the probability to save from losses? What's the probability of you getting consistent? Disciplined. You get disciplined, you save your losses. Under 1K, I see things online, just wondering. Bose Christian, I think you can get a pretty good computer under $1,000, like a really good one. Mine cost me around $1,000. Mine cost me $1,000, and this was 2 years ago. There's actually a pretty good YouTube channel on this. It's called YouTube. Linus. I think it's called Linus Tech. Yeah, Linus Tech Tips. It's a pretty good YouTube channel. Cool guys. Any suggestions on trading books for candle confirmations? Yes, the chart. You gotta look at the chart. Where's someone take profits 1,000 per day? I'm not sure what that question is. 2 years in Forex and still losing. Any advice? Yes, make a trading plan and 1 to 2 trades a day. We should get Black Box on the mic. How can I get Black Box on the mic? Try to figure out a way to get Black Box.
Can you DM?
No, I really want him on the mic because like he contributes a lot.
Yeah, you can DM the link. You can whisper him the link, I think.
Oh. No, I can't.
You can't message him?
I can go to his channel and send him a go to about.
I think the biggest takeaway for Forex has to be you can't treat Forex like a high school or university course. If you do treat it like that, you're going to fail miserably. Because everything that you've been taught in high school and university on how to study is memorization and just write out answers, and then you're done the course. The thing is, with Forex, it's not a university course. Like, you don't study for 3 weeks and then say, nope, now I'm profitable. Like, you don't do that in Forex. And I think the faster people learn about that and learn that this is a life changing or a lifestyle, the better off you're going to be. That's what I think it comes down to, because people, the first thing they always say is, what about this course? What about this person? What about that person? It doesn't matter really who you learn from. It's going to be how you apply the information and the work that you put in. And I don't mean studying for 12 or 14 hours a day. That's not going to help you become a better trader. You're going to understand trading faster, but you're not going to become a better trader by reading or studying 12 hours a day. What you are going to have to do is you are going to have to apply that knowledge, and it requires problem-solving skills and experience with various situations that will help you. As an example, if you've never gambled before, Forex is going to be very tough for you, because it's going to play with your emotions, because even though you're going to be 100% correct in your mind, there's going to be 99, there's going to be that 1% that changes the market, and you have to get used to that. And I think a lot of people have not learned that, and it's going to really, really hurt them as they start trading. And the other thing is too, jumping from course to course or asking different people different opinions about Forex is just going to confuse the hell out of you. It's going to make you sick to your stomach, because of the fact that all you're doing is just constantly changing direction because you see somebody post something and that's what you need to do. You have to turn around and actually do the work. You actually have to put in the work, and you have to figure out what ideas in trading make sense to you. It's the most important thing you can do as a trader, is really figure out what makes the most sense to you. Like, as an example, for me, people are trading today. It doesn't make sense for me. I'll watch moves go by all day today. It just doesn't make sense. Other people, it makes sense for them, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to be put into a position where trading makes sense to you. That what you're doing, you fully understand what you're doing. You're not guessing. There's no aspect of trading should be a guess. It should all be calculated risk. I'm doing this because of this. I'm doing this because of this. And if you can't answer those questions, you need to take a step back and review a little bit more about what you're doing in terms of trading. And you're going to find it's a long, long journey. especially if you've had no work experience in finance, you have no finance background, you have no gambling background, you have no problem solving background. It's going to be a long, long journey. And if you only have $100 account, it's going to be a long, long journey. And just sit down and really look at your life and say, hey, is this something I want to do for the rest of my life? If it is, then you're now welcome to basically sacrificing your entire world for the next part of your life so that you can become consistent and then turn around and reap the rewards after the fact. So good luck.
But it will be a long, long journey.
Yeah, a long, long journey. Simulate now. No one's simulating anything. You can go watch on the videos of simulation. You can go simulate your own information. It's very easy to work on your own. I think people are afraid to work on their own because they're looking for some magical answer that they think someone else will have, when the answer is in the charts. It's very straightforward. You can go simulate anything, and all you're doing is you're mapping out an idea, and you're looking to see if that idea plays out. And if it doesn't play out, then you ask yourself why the idea didn't play out. And how do you get that answer? You go through 3 or 4 time frames, and you see where there was problems with that idea. When the idea works out, then you turn around and move on to the next trade. And you write down, hey, my idea worked out. That's simulation. And that's trading. Like, it's so basic. Like, this is such a basic idea that if you make a mistake in trading, you go through the trade and you evaluate every little aspect of that trade, the time, the day, the pair, the time frame, and you go through all that and you just make notes. You're a crime scene detective. All you're doing is you're a detective looking to see how to solve the crime. And the crime is, why did I lose the trade? That's the crime. And you solve the crime. And you know what? You turn around, if you can't solve the crime on the first time, go create another crime scene and see if you can solve that crime scene and see if you can get information based on that crime scene to help you with the previous one. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing, is just solving a crime scene every day. Who is creating the murder or the crime, and how do I solve it? That's all you're doing with Forex every single day.
Everyone here trying to get rich quick. Better quit now. You're just wasting your time. Blah blah. Yep. I just got my second keyboard here. I'm gonna put my second keyboard. What the fuck is going on here?
Get rich. Get rich quick. Quickly.
Oh, you know what I realized today? I need a wireless mouse. Is Best Buy open today? We are closed today. Okay. But Walmart. Open today. Maybe Walmart is open today. Because now I have a big desk and I have two places where I put my hands, so it's better to have two keyboards in both places.
That's a little much, isn't it? Keyboard.
Well, I have two keyboards. I just got my second one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, I've got 4 monitors. Yeah, well, I've got 3 keyboards.
I got 3 keyboards. They help me trade well. Oh, I don't have enough USB slots for the second keyboard.
Oh, you gotta get a USB splitter.
Oh, oh, wait a minute. There's one over there. Oh, shit.
Ted, how did you grow your account? I traded daily, and I worked through certain pairs, and I worked on the higher time frames, and I aimed to grab 10 to 15 pips every trade. That's all I did. And when the market was trending, I traded with the trend. That's it. Is crypto easier than Forex? I don't know what you're talking about with crypto. I also never cared about the money that I was making with Forex because I had a job and my job paid me well. And yes, I am from Canada. Do you guys wait for breakouts on the 30-minute and 1 hour and then drop the lower time frames for entries? Sure, Connor. If that makes sense on the chart that day, that makes good. But then you trade with a bigger lot size, right? Well, you can go on my Instagram, and I did the same thing I did today. I had money. I wasn't poor. That's the thing. I wasn't poor. I had bills to pay because of my personal situation and what happened to me personally. But I was earning 6 figures in my job. Like, trading for me was a hobby. It was just a side thing to make extra money. It was never a lifestyle. I never woke up one day and said, I want to be a Forex trader. And I think that's the mistake you guys make. I was working 9 to 5 and I said, well, hey, if I could make extra money, that's great. And maybe one day I could quit my job. I never relied on Forex to be the be all end all. So I guess that's why I progressed faster, and that's why I had a good time with it, and it didn't bother me because I never cared about the money. It didn't matter how much money I made or how much I lost. It didn't faze me because I wasn't using it for anything. I didn't make a withdrawal until I had until I had like 30,000 in my account, and then I took a withdrawal. Like I didn't need the money. Ted, what's the most vital piece of information you learned from working in an institution? How do you apply it to FX? Well, essentially, institutions have long time horizons. They are taking positions for the long term. They're not taking it for the small one. How long I've been trading? 5 years. Raja, can you show us how to enter depending on candle rejection, support, or resistance? Yeah, Michael, you can turn around and go onto the channel and you will see a lot of these ideas discussed on the YouTube channel. When did you think it was time to leave your job while trading? When I had enough money to buy a house. Take profit at trend lines or support zones? I don't understand what that question means. That's such a ill phrased question. It's so sad. Take it at both. See how it works out.
You need to know how much you want to secure. What if the price never gets to that support or trend line? Then what? What are you going to do then? Hold the trade? Like, you need to know what you're kind of like expecting from that move. Like, if I take a buy here and I expect price to go up to resistance, I'll say, okay, I'll take TP at 136,300 because that's the resistance zone it has to go. What if it only goes up till here? You know, then what? So you always need to know how much you're willing to secure positions.
How to control portion size when selecting the trade? Well, that is sort of like when you eat. When you go to a meal, you sit down, you know how much you can eat, and that's how you control it. So when you're trading, you need to know how much you should be trading, and it's a percentage of your account that you're comfortable with. Ted, have you trained any trader from Kenya? Yes, I have taught people from Kenya. Uncle Ted, can you tell me which position is better to close your runner position? The position that is in a worse profit. Would you say leaving my job once I can trade 1 million working full time, knowing that I'm very confident trading, can I live off it? Sure. I don't know your financial situation. See, all these questions that people are asking, they are all subjective. There's no right or wrong answer. You have to look at your own position and say, does this make sense for me? If it doesn't make sense for you, then it doesn't make sense. Asking myself or Raja what we think, we don't know who you are, so we can't tell you what makes sense for you to trade. You have to figure it out what makes sense and how that will affect you. Like these questions here are so subjective. When should I take profit? I don't know. When do you want to take profit? Well, I don't know. Well, then you don't have a trading plan. What you need to come back and say, the proper question for that scenario would be, I find that when I take a trade and it runs 10 pips in the profit, I'm only winning 3 out of those 10 trades. How can I adjust my trade to win more 10 pip profit trades? What do I need to do? And give a scenario and an example about how you took a trade and it didn't go to 10 pips, and we can help you that way. Saying when I should take profit is irrelevant to trading. That's like, some of these questions are just, you know what, you scare me, and you actually want to put money into the market. You shouldn't put money into the market at all. Like, it's scary. It's so damn scary that people think that if they just ask these subjective questions, it's going to make them a better trader. Come with actual scenarios of your trades and ask us to review the scenario and how you could have improved in that scenario. That is a proper way to learn trading and to educate yourself. Is all scenario based. Okay? You really need to understand what you're doing first, and then turn around and provide that information. These questions are stupid. They're absolutely stupid, and you should be stupid for thinking of them. And I don't care, because I'm helping you, because at least now you won't lose money in the markets. You'll just be stupid at trading. You'll be smart at other things, but you'll be stupid at trading, and you won't want to be stupid anymore. That's the key here, is you can be stupid at trading and still be a smart person. But you could be stupid at trading and keep losing money, and that makes you even more stupid. So what we're trying to do is prevent you from losing money and being stupid in the markets and going being smart at another career. Because if you're asking stupid questions in trading, you should not be trading. You should go back and do a regular job or do something else where you're smart at that job or smart at that skill. That will help you more in life than coming here asking stupid questions. That is more important to me in my life, to make sure that you guys do not become stupid traders and ask stupid questions. No, I don't think people are trolling me. I think they're legitimate questions and they don't know what they're actually doing. When trading full time, did you trade before 9 a.m.? Yes, I did. All the time.
Ooh. Damn. What is happening to GJ? Please explain. I think you're in a drawdown, so we're gonna look at GJ. GJ is heading up so far. It broke up in this range. Now there's the potential for it to continue moving up.
Yep. I think people jumped into GJ too fast, and they all decided to ride it down when there was no confirmation that GJ was going to drop, other than one little candle pullback, which was the weekly time frame setting up. All these moves today were all just the weekly time frame setting up. That's the funny part about it. So everyone who traded today is probably getting destroyed.
When looking at a new pair's country's position, if looking at charts, what pieces of info would you start to collect? Interesting. I don't know. Let's say, well, you have to give an example of what pair you're starting to look at, and if you want to know if the country is bullish or bearish. John Salmons, it doesn't work like that. John Salmons. Ooh, gold is just dropping. You know, in hindsight, gold was a good sell because there was a clean candle here. Interesting. Did you ever do a 3-day boot camp? No. Maybe in the UK. I'm planning on in UK in January or February. Trying to work something out with Simon. Oh, what happened? Is there any fundamental info or trade education today, or there's only people who ask if it's good to trade for a living? So you missed the stream. Yeah, for 2 hours that was the main idea. We was just like answering questions here and there, and mainly that was about it. Looks like gold was a nice trade. Is it just any? Yeah, it's basically the US holiday and Canada holiday. US and Canada. G just should move up. Can you please turn up the volume of your microphone? My laptop is at max. I think you need a new laptop then, because this mic is perfect. I use this mic for everything, man. You guys think this phase 1 trade deal will actually get signed? China already? Yeah, I think it's not gonna get signed. I think tomorrow, I think Trump is gonna be like that he should have gotten a better deal. So he's gonna say something about that. I don't think it's gonna be done this year. They will drag this on like Brexit. But anyway, I'm going to head off. Hope everyone has a great day today. Don't overtrade or over risk. Or I haven't taken any trades. I'll probably take my first trade tomorrow morning.
Have a good day.
Yep. Take care.
Thank you so much, Raja.
Yeah, no problem, Kervin. Hasta la vista, baby.